Okay, so my topic is about the weakness of traditional grading, and I'm also going to talk about competency-based grading program. Um, so to talk about before we talk about weaknesses of the traditional grading system, we need to understand a little bit about the traditional grading system. So and first, we need to get to understand what grades mean. So, grades basically communicate performance of the students and provide motivation and feedback to students. Also, it provides criteria for guidance. It also provide input for instructional planning and administration. And when we look at the traditional grading system, we can see that they do not align with these four, because teachers provide letter grades at the end of the semester, so they cannot use the letter grade to plan on their lesson after the grade has been given. Also, the way traditional grading system works is that teachers decide their own grading policy under guidelines given from the school and the school district. The grading policy include a grade scale, distributing points for scoring assignments and exams, extra credits and back points for late or missing homework and classroom behavior. It also, these things determine the final grade. And there's also the passing grade. Sometimes, like F means that it's not, the performance was unsatisfactory. Usually C and D means that the students can pass and move on to the next level, but sometimes, like some school use C as a cutoff point, and for some reason there's no E in the grading system. Okay, and the meaning of each grade is that usually there's a numeral scale 1 to 100 was assigned by the teacher, and there's a cutoff point for each letter grade. For example, A might be 90 to 100, B is 80 to 89, and so on. Cutoff point is differentiate and rank students, but it also separates students with as little as 1 point. For example, like there might not be a huge difference between 89 points and 89% and 90%. And the next thing is the GPA. So GPA is used in high school, and letter grade, it's basically just letter grades for each course, the average of letter grades for each course. And average ensures that GPA reflects bad years as well as good years in students' overall experience. So we can see that the traditional performance didn't really reflect on these things. Okay, so we're going to talk about the problems with the traditional grading system. For all students, there's no time limit incentives to learn course material because they don't have like opportunity or motivation to improve and learn more after the grades are issued. And there's no mechanism for recording students' progress relative to learning goals. And there's also lack of connection between class grades, state learning standards, and standardized accountability measures. For students earning low but passing grades, for example C or D, well, they earn a diploma without achieving a requisite level of skills and knowledge. Also, a low GPA threatens their eligibility. I don't know how to pronounce this word, but yeah, for school of colleges and financial scholarships. And for students with failing grades, basically, well, it increased their likelihood to drop school without diploma, and then also their official school transcripts permanently record their failure and undermine their failure life choices. But on the other hand, with the competency-based grading system, there are the grading system align policies and practices around student learning. So there are 6 elements. The first one is embrace explicit learning progression or standards. Yeah, so everyone will have a shared vision of what students should learn. For example, here on New Hampshire Department of Education, they created a competency chart which is aligned with the Common Core standard. We can look at this. So here we can see the standard and then what students should do to pass off the standards. Yep. And then also there is also one for English language art. And the second one is that the competency-based grading program develops a clear standard of level of knowledge, so students and teachers share an understanding of what proficiency means. So here they use the Bloom's taxonomies right here. We can see that there's different levels of students' understanding because they believe that proficiencies means the ability to apply skills or content. Sometimes it also refers to higher order skills as deeper learning. And the third one is ensure that transparency. So educator, teachers, students, parents all understand where students are in their learning progression. And the fourth one is create school-wide or district-wide standard-based grading policy. So it means that so standard-based grading requires a school-wide commitment. It means that this commitment on behalf of the school to help all students become proficient. And then the B is that a system of scoring describe performance and progression. So for example, there's different scoring system of skill from 1 to 4, and sometimes broke down to 1, 1.5 to 2.5, and so on. So here's an example. Here's different grading system, and then the description of different points for different points issued. And teachers need to look at the trend other than students just initial performance. Here, so the idea is that sometimes students start learning about new things and they didn't understand it at first, but they will get it at the end. So trending would not penalize students as heavily as their early mistakes as the traditional system. And scoring academic progress separately from lifelong learning competency. Basically just hope that students will focus on their learning. And then the next one is teachers need to offer timely feedback and